And I'm gonna wave again. Sorry, that's what happens when I kind of play with the phone in my pocket. Thank you very much for letting me know that, Austin, that I'm muted.
You're
So,
welcome.
as
Have
you
a
see
good
here,
one.
great big huge filtration building from the St. Lawrence River here, going all the way up north to the highway. So you're running from the highway down here to the filtration. Now, what can we do with tech to take care of that? Well, they've been in these buildings before, all over eastern northern Ontario, and inside there, they've actually their effluents, all their H balances, everything like that to make sure water is safe for people. Take care of that. Well, that's covered. You have to be safe. Well, you get a little bit closer here. We're still good. No one's come to bother me because no licensing is behind. You can quite see a coast guard between the two rivers. So you have an international highway, international body of water. You have a filtration plant. You have a coast guard. All of this, which used to be done manually, is now taken care of in the tech world. Why is that important? Like our people, we don't have to worry that we have to take care of these facilities. So tech is extremely important because we no longer have enough people to get up to speed quickly enough because we haven't had enough time to get trained properly. These are safety procedures, very good supply chain procedures, but very simple all across the country. 90%, I'm not too sure the exact numbers, like our board shared along some sort of waterway. So this is the main route that actually people travel through. So that's something we have to be worried about. And what we're trying to do now is train people that aren't near this body of water. Because for 100 years and plus, hundreds of years, most people live along here. It's easy to get product from point A to point B. You disrupt these routes all the way up this highway here, you disrupt these routes, then what happens is supply chain stops. However, there's a whole world, whole country, north of where we are, where I'm going a lot, and I'll be able to take you there soon, so where the mines are. The mining is really relying heavily on tech to help get product, to help get things that they need out of the ground, to help get the proper workers up there, because they are not very close to here. When I drive there to survey the mine sites, it's a 10-hour drive. It's a long way to go, but they really rely on technology to learn, to stay aboard, to stay connected, and to get their food supply, get everything they need. Tech is actually a huge portion of what we're going to be doing, and I love talking about it more. I just thought this would be a good time to talk about it right now here on Crash Test Dummy. So I do have some stats in the truck I'm going to go back into now before I get back to a little staging area. Thank you once again for Allison helping me out with my tech problems when my hands are cold. I'm going to get my seatbelt on here. Thank you, sir. So, let's turn around the back to our starting position. Start. So I actually go around the other side, if you don't mind, by the Coast Guard. Thanks. So we'll drive a couple blocks over where the Coast Guard is. But the stats I have in the back, but what has technology done for the safety world? Well, there are now about 86%, please let me check my numbers, less fatalities than there were 80 years ago. However, they say less fatalities. The thing is, they say fatalities, not injuries. There's actually more injuries now because there's more people and people are working faster. The injuries that are happening are more hand, foot injuries, injuries that were more concerning of the body and the mind. So it's great that we're taking care of some of these smaller ideas, but we do still have to worry about some smaller injuries and staying safe at work. So why do we have to stay so safe at work? Because we're going into an area where we're coming post-pandemic, and there's going to be a very motivated workforce, and there are some jobs that require skilled labor. So we have to start looking at how we can train people quickly. With everybody jumping into the metaverse so quickly, there are a lot of ways that we can train people, which will, one, help people learn very fast how they can actually get people trained and actually learn the product before they actually get into a heavy-duty excavating equipment. That's great because we train quickly, but as well, the great thing about that is it can lower the carbon emissions because we no longer have to ramp up these large pieces of equipment and actually get the diesel fuel emissions into the system. Now, as much as we like the ideas of rechargeable batteries, we're still a long way from that getting to be a realistic vision. They are being used right now at the mines I've been to, but it's still not quite in full population. We will be getting there, and it's going to be a great service, but we're not quite there yet. Maybe just do a UV up here, that would be good. So what we're going to be thinking about is how we can actually use these particular technology. Yeah, just turn right there. Use a particular tech to actually get people to learn the product, learn the machinery, learn how to be more efficient with the mining so that we can actually extract some of the minerals that so many people are desperate to have for whatever reasons outside of natural resources we have to fuel ourselves. If they want it so bad, then we have to find a way to safely and efficiently do that without harming our own system, which would be lower carbon emissions and find ways to get people to stay up with technology, to train properly, to learn how to stay safe at work. And that's something that we're going to be doing. So anyway, this here behind me, let's jump in right now. Thank you, sir. See how close that was. So we're looking at here, this is again all public property. I do like to make sure of that. It's all public property here. Again, down by the river, nice little park going on. And then I'm not going to show this, believe me, I'm not showing this. That's the actual Coast Guard with the power station. You can Google this, it's all online, it's easy to find, you can follow that. But it's basically, this is another area that you can actually get to the water. So you actually have the waterfront coming here, you can see the US coming across, monitored by the Coast Guard, who monitors up and down. They have their boats, they do have the chopper that comes by once in a while, but it's all the basic system of supply chain, supply and demand, point A to point B. This happens to be a central depot, so they actually monitor everything that they need through their tech-wise. So as everybody starts moving to a VR metaverse, how do we control that? How do we secure that? How do we stay safe at work? How do we actually make sure that we keep our supply chain safe? How do we make sure that we keep our people safe to make sure that we can get to work the next day? So that's mostly what we talk about here at Crash Test Dummy. In the safety world, we were the original crash test dummies. We like to break things and not get hurt. That's the fun that we have. We actually like to talk about, this hour has 15 minutes. We've talked about toe safety, we've talked about head safety, we've talked about a lot of different types of safety, eyewear, that type of idea. Tonight we went outside to actually look at a simple supply chain point A to point B and what we can do in tech to make sure those supply chains are safe and secure, and we can take care of that remotely because people are moving away from these areas and we have to make sure they're taken care of. I'm Kurt, this is Crash Test Dummy. I thank you very much for your time. You have yourselves a great night.